What's up, YouTube? Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic is the Star Wars-based D&D RPG that hails from the now unfortunately sunsetting studio of BioWare. Good luck, Mass Effect. In this rule set, the characters are defined by 6 attributes that determine the efficacy of their abilities in things like magic, combat, and speaking. Knights of the Old Republic offers 9 party characters of varying skills and class types, with humans, droids, and Wookiees all collaborating to complete the single goal of stopping Darth Malak and save the Republic. We are going to see the theoretical maximum for these attributes of these characters based on their given attribute spread, the equipable gear items they can use, and level up opportunity. Before jumping in, a little bit of comment garbage collection. First off, we will not be counting Force powers because if a Jedi uses Force Valor, a +5 to every single attribute on a character would obviously be broken and basically just put them at the top of every category, and you would just see Bastila, Jolee, and Juhani able to take over every category pretty much if they chose to. Second, any character that would need to use a feat to equip the armor would obviously use the armor proficiency feat. The highest in this list goes to is medium, so it would take a maximum of 2 feats for a character that has none of the armor proficiencies available to them, and then you'd be left with whatever's left. There's sure to be other condescending comments that I will not care about and ignore. For that, let's get right into it. I'm going to be separating this into 3 categories based on the biological, droids, and the main character, because the biological and droids have different equipable armor sets, and then the main character is a completely different thing that we'll get into because you get to customize and you have a little bit more freeway with that. So that'll be its own separate thing there at the end. I'm also not going to include the main character in the final tier list of each attribute because as the main character, you have access to the most to do basically anything you want. First up, let's jump right into it with the meat bags. So starting with the meat bags here with their strength attributes, the armbands, implants, headgear, and weapons do not provide any bonuses to these attributes, so we're going to ignore those completely. For the hands, the best option is the Dominator Gauntlet at +5 strength, coming from Mikadoran on Korriban and the Dresh Day settlement. The body will be the heavy exoskeleton of +3. This is a medium armor, and is found in the Yavin DLC from Sivam. The +1 is a max on 3 different base, but everyone has the Yavin DLC, so we're just going to go ahead and assume everybody plays with the Yavin DLC and include those gears. Makes it a better tier list anyways, and more gear available. So we're going to include the Yavin DLC. The belt is the +2 CNS Strength Enhancer, and that is all of the strength additional items coming to a total of +10 to equipable strength items. Our first character on our list is going to be Carth. Starting with 13 strength, he gets 4 remaining attributes to allocate upon level up, with the +10 that reaches a maximum of 27 strength points. Mission starts with 10, gets 5 remaining allocated stat points, and a +10 gives her a maximum of 25. Zaalbar can only equip belt gear and loses out on the others, so he only gets a +2 from the gear. Zaalbar, however, starts with 20 strength, and there's 4 remaining points, giving him a +2 and a total of 26. Mission is damn near as strong as a Wookiee, 25 to 26, and like, look at the size disparagement here. Canderous starts with 15 strength, remaining 4 attribute allocation with a +10 gives him a total of 29. He will in fact wrestle a Wookiee for the Mandalorian Pride and come out on top. Getting into the Jedi, Bastila starts with 12 strength, remaining 5 attribute points, and +10 gives her a total of 27. Goddamn, even Bastila with her Sentinel Battle Meditation woman will hit you harder than a damn Wookiee will. I mean, she just is out here absolutely buffed. Juhani starts with 13 and a remainder of 4, with a +10 gives her a total of 27 strength. Jolee starts with 12, with a remaining 4, and a +10 adds up to 26. Okay, so this old decrepit man, put him side by side with Zaalbar here. This old decrepit man and this Wookiee. Yeah, I'd say they have about the same strength. That Shadowland probably did some good training for him. I would say he probably buffed up a little bit down there. Going on to dexterity for the biologicals, the implant +5 advanced alacrity is found on Yavin. The base game provides the Gorgelin reaction for Mikadoran on Korriban with a +4. Head has a +2 for combat sensor at Tyvark's shop in Manan. Hands +3 advanced stabilizer gloves found on Yavin, and one other place. The maximum outside of Yavin is a +1 elsewhere. Body has a +3 from the Geno Haradan mesh armor found from Hulis on Tatooine after killing him. Belt is a +3 Baragwin stealth unit from Yavin. The Adrenaline Stimulator +2 is without the Yavin DLC. This gives you a total addition of 16 points to the Dexterity attribute. way up from the 10 strength. So this one's going to be pretty big. Carth kicks it off with 16, gets 4 remaining for 20, add 16 to that, adds a maximum of 36 points. Mission herself starts with 16, gets 5 remaining allocated points, and plus 16 gives her a maximum of 37. Zaalbar cannot equip body, head, or hands, so he loses out on 8 of the points here and only gets 8. I mean, plus 8 is still not that bad. I mean, geez, though. He starts with 13, remainder of 4, with a plus 8 from gear, gives him a total of 25. Canderous starts with 12 dexterity, remaining of 4, and a 16 from the gear, gives him a total of 32. Now moving into the Jedi here, we get the plus 1 from the lightsaber if you use the Mantle of the Force plus the Genrao Crystal, and that is the only attribute gaining stat bonus on a lightsaber in the base KOTOR game. KOTOR 2, different story. KOTOR 1, this is all we got. So Bastila starts with 18 and a remaining of 5 attribute points, with a plus 17 instead, it gets a total of 40. I mean, she just can't be touched. She's just a ghost on the battlefield without stealth equipped. People are just swinging at nothing and just swinging for the fences, and she's just not there. She's gone. Juhani starts with 16, remainder of 4, plus 17 gives her a total of 37. Jolee starts with 16, has a remainder of 4, plus 17 gives him a total of 37. Going on to the biological constitution, there's a plus 4 implant, the cardio power system found from Mika Doran or from Roland Wan. The body has a plus 3 on the heavy exoskeleton as well from Yavin, and none elsewhere. So this is the only constitutions you're going to get, so we're including Yavin for reasons like so. This gives us a total addition of plus 7, and going on to our first character, Carth starts with 12, and a remainder of 4, and a plus 7 gives him a total of 23 constitution. Mission starts with 12, and a remainder of 5 plus 7 gives her 24. I literally could not have guessed that when I started this list that Mission, the little street rat scoundrel, would have more constitution than Carth, a literal Republic soldier. It made no sense. Zaalbar can't use his body, so loses out on plus 3, so he gets a maximum of plus 4 from the implant. He starts with 20, remainder of 4 plus the 4 from the gear gives him a total of 28. Canderous starts with 14, he has a remainder of 4 plus 7 from the gear gives him a total of 25. Bastila starts with 12, remainder of 5 plus 7 from the gear gives her a total of 24. Juhani starts with 14, remainder of 4 allocation plus 7 gives her a total of 25 points. Jolee starts with 12, remainder of 4 gives him a plus 7 from the gear with a total of 23. For the intelligence, there's only a single implant, the memory package that you get from killing Gadon Thek of the Hidden Becks in Terrace. This is the only intelligence gain you need. So if you really are looking for that on your characters that aren't just beeping droids, I guess you can take the dark route and kill Gadon here. Our boy Carth starts with 13, a remainder of 4 plus 1 gives him a total of 18 points. Mission starts with 14, remainder of 5 plus 1 gives her a total of 20. Zaalbar with 10, remainder of 4 plus 1 gives him a total of 15. Canderous coming into the party with 10, has a remainder of 4 plus 1 also at 15. I mean, do you even have to say more? The Wookiee and the Mandalorian Rager low int out here, just swinging at shit and just no intelligence. Are we really surprised about it? Bastila starts with 10, a remainder of 5 plus 1 gives her a total of 16. Juhani starts with 14, remainder 4 plus 1 gives her a total of 19. Jolee starts with 12, a remainder of 4 allocation plus 1 from the gear gives him a total of 17. On Wisdom, we literally got nothing here. We just gotta go raw, which makes sense as Wisdom is more tied to Force users to increase max Force points and Force effects. Carth himself starts with 10, a remaining 4, and 14 is his total. Mission starts with 11, a remainder of 5, and 16 is her total. Zaalbar starts with 12, a remainder of 4, 16 is the total for him. Zaalbar is wiser than Carth, a general in the Republic Army, and an admiral in the second game. He needs to reevaluate himself right now. Canderous starts with 14, a remainder of 4, and 18 total. Canderous has more wisdom than any other non-Force user, and that is why he became Mandalore and leads his kin. Now, the actually available wisdom equipable items are Jedi locked with the body at +2 from the Queldroma robes on Korriban. These are light side restricted. The head is +5. The circle of Suresh found on Kashyyyk is also light side restricted. So Bastila is able to equip these starting with 12, a remaining of 5 allocations, and plus 7 from this gear gives her a total of 24. Juhani starts with 12, and a remainder of 4 allocations, with the plus 7 from her gear gives her a total of 23. Now Jolee, on the other hand, is not a light-sided Jedi, he's a gray Jedi, so he does not get access to this, and he has the same gear as the regular biologicals. He will start with 15 and get a remainder of 4 allocated, with a plus 0 and get 19. It's ironic that the Jedi Consular is unable to improve his wisdom and charisma, being the one who would most benefit from it. They sure were cooking it up at BioWare for sure on this decision. Give the Consular no extra force maximum powers. We're really cooking here with this one. For charisma, there's literally nothing here. We just gotta go raw at it once again. And I think the reason for this is because the main character uses charisma for persuasion and other force users use it for force power effects. But outside of that, nothing else is really guaranteed from it. And also you can just max out wisdom if you really want to get your force benefits. Our boy Carth here starts with 12, a remainder of 4, and total of 16. Mission starts with 10, gets a remainder of 5 allocated, and gets a total of 15. Now, Carth might not be smarter, and he might not be more wise, but he can definitely not take a hit as hard. But damn it, can he charm the sexual attraction better. You'd better think it would be backed with a soldier and a street kid, but Carth is out here putting it down. Zaalbar starts with 8, a remainder of 4, and a total of 12. Canderous starts with 10, a remainder of 4, and a total of 14. For the Force users, Bastila starts with 15, a remainder of 5, and a total of 20. Juhani starts with 13, a remainder of 4, and a total of 17. Jolee starts with 15, a remainder of 4, and a total of 19. As I said, you can't get any gear to upgrade Jolee's wisdom, and nobody has access to charisma. You best bet for him in a playthrough is invest a point in each wisdom and charisma to start, and then 2 more points into wisdom to increase his max force points a step further and avoid waste. Now getting on to the droids. Nothing that droids equip can even make up for their attributes, so they will be individually evaluated in a rapid-fire manner. Kicking it off with T3 here, his strength starts with 10, a remainder of 5, for a total of 15. Dexterity starts with 15, a remainder of 5, ends with 20. Constitution starts with 14, a remainder of 5, and ends with 19. Intelligence starts with 20, a remainder of 5, and ends with 25. Wisdom starts with 10, a remainder of 5, and a total of 15. Charisma starts with 10, a remainder of 5, and ends with 15. They really shafted T3 in terms of literally anything but a utility bot. His intelligence is only stat, but overall, isn't that the nature of him anyways, so can we really blame them? HK, on the other hand, is a combat bot, meant to carry out assassinations and will sing a different tune. His strength starts with 16, a remainder of 4, gives him a total of 20 possible. A plus 3 to strength for a droid that can't use a melee weapon. Yeah, they were cooking for sure. For sure. Dexterity. HK gets no equipment boost in dexterity, but by using the repair skill, you can boost his dexterity by a whopping plus 4. This is huge for a droid that is handed to you with a 16 strength attribute and 14 dexterity attribute spread that can only utilize blasters and not melee weapons. HK starts with 14 with a remainder of 4 allocations. With a plus 4 from this repair, he gets 22 total. One final mention of how bullshit it is beyond the repair, that the droid fucking starts off with more strength and dexterity and he has absolutely zero fucking use for it, okay? It just fucking irks me, okay? Like, it's just so dumb. But enough to beat a dead bantha, we'll move on from here. His constitution starts with 10, a remainder of 4 allocation gives a total of 14. I will grant that his constitution is terrible, but it is at least backed up with not only the plus 4 to dexterity and a plus 2 modifier to defense, but also straight out another plus 2 to defense and 2 health regen on this repair. Intelligence starts with 14, a remainder of 4, and a total of 18. Wisdom starts with 12, gets a remainder of 4, and a total of 16. Charisma starts with 10, a remainder of 4, and totals out to 14. Finally, moving on to the main character. The main character at character creation gets to put an allocated 18 attribute score into any one stat for the maximum. This will be the base start. With reaching level 20, he will have an extra 5 attributes to allocate upon reaching this level. Every stat hits a minimum of 23 before applying any gear. This beats out the character's maximum in multiple categories across the board, and is another reason why he won't be included in the final party breakdown, because you just get to max anything out at 23 by your choice. For the main character's strength, you need to complete this game on the dark side of the Force and go through the Star Forge and get to the computer, because you're going to pick up yourself a +4 strength in Darth Revan's robes on the dark side Star Forge. The hands are going to be the same, with the Dominator Gauntlet at +5 from Mikadoran and the belt +2, seeing a strength enhancer. So the main character gets to start with 18, a remainder of 5 allocated, and a +11 from the gear gives him a 34 strength attribute. 5 more strength than the Mandalorian, and 8 more strength than the Wookiee. The ego arm wrestling matches they must have had on the Ebon Hawk were fucking insane. Dexterity for the main character pops off as well as any other Jedi. He gets the +5 advanced alacrity, the +2 combat sensor, the +3 advanced stabilizer gloves, the +3 Gino Haran mesh armor, the +3 Baragwin stealth unit, and the +1 from the Mantle of Force and General Crystal combination. The character will start with 18, he gets the remainder of 5 allocated, and a +17 gives him a total of 40 dexterity. Similar to Bastila, enemies are swinging for the fence and miss him by a mile. The Constitution is the +7 from the implant and the heavy exoskeleton, so start off with 18, a remainder of 5, and a +7 gives him a total of 30 Constitution. Intelligence, get the +1 memory package, so the main character will start off with 18, get a remainder of 5, and +1 gives him a total of 24. Yeah, I think Gadden can just keep his life for this type of max out. We'll just keep the utility droid around. The only reason you would be absolutely desperate for +1 intelligence would be to fix HK and get him his bonuses. For the main character's wisdom, you will need to play as a light side Jedi all the way into the endgame of the Star Forge to max this one out. For the body, you'll get the +5 Star Forge robes instead of the Darth Revan robes, and you will need to be light side when you go to this computer. Head is going to be +5 the Circlet of Suresh found on Kashyyyk, like before. So for wisdom, the start is 18, the remainder is 5, and you get +10 from gear, so you can total out your wisdom to 33. Wise enough to reach enlightenment and still realize that putting Malak down like a dog is the only way forward in the end. For the charisma, that's still poo-pooing nothing, and we start with 18 +5 is a maximum of 23. Now that we know everybody's attribute strengths from their gear, we can hit this with a tier list and tier list every party member in every single attribute. Let's get right down to it. We're going to give you a good power ranking here. For the strength tier, we have Canderous, Bastila, Juhani, and Carth all tying it up at second. Zaalbar and Jolee tying it up at third, and HK and then T3 coming up at the rear. The dexterity tier, Bastila, Mission, Juhani, and Jolee are tying it up in second. Carth, then Canderous, then HK, and T3 once again coming up at the rear. For the constitution tier, Zaalbar, the big Wookiee, Canderous and Juhani are 2 strong soldiers coming in second. Mission and Bastila coming in at third. Carth and Jolee sharing the 4th spot. Once again at the bottom, HK, then T3. Bottom of all 3 categories, the droids are strictly just the worst options for combat, but HK at least earns his spot with enough dexterity equipped, plus a 13 armor plate rating, with an essential free 4 upgrade from the repair. In the end, he really does get enough dexterity to be useful, and defense to survive the enemies. In intelligence here, we kick it off with T3 in the number 1 spot, Juhani and Mission kicking it up in second, Carth and HK sharing the number 3 spot, Jolee up next, then Bastila, then Canderous and Zaalbar sharing it at the bottom. Is there much else to say for our resident meatheads? In the wisdom tier, Bastila at number 1, Juhani at number 2, Jolee at number 3, Canderous is at number 4, Mission and Zaalbar and HK are sharing the next spots, and then T3 and Carth all the way at the bottom. Admiral of the Republic in KOTOR 2, by the way, the most unwise leader available at the helm for real. For charisma, we have Bastila at the top again, Jolee's next, and then Juhani. Carth coming in 4th, Mission and T3 sharing the 5th spot, HK and Canderous sharing the next one, Zaalbar bringing up the rear. I mean, have you seen a Wookiee try to date? Gotta be horrendous with the claws and everything. And that's the max attribute of every party member available to you, obviously excluding Trask because he doesn't make it past the first 20 minutes, most likely 10 minutes in the game if you know what you're doing, and he's just gone. And then the main character is obviously buffed out of his shit because the minimum is 23 for anything. Once again, I am Hidden Native. The new channel name has come to you, it's come to me, and I'm going to be moving on with that. And check out the new tattoo we have. This thing bangs. It's awesome. Got that Star Wars there in the top there. Had to get that in there. Had to get that in there. You know what's up. Anyways, if you like this video, subscribe and like it if you enjoyed it, and share it to somebody who just is interested in the game like me and you, because you obviously clicked on this video. Yay, cool. Once again, a man is lost without the sauce, but that same man can get lost in the sauce. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace.